Abandoned Pause, he leads to the 2000s, the MySpace before Facebook, the forgotten American alternative / indie rock band that was way ahead of its time, being formed way back in 2001. Made of, sorry if I butchered some of these names. Tommy Walter, basses, guitars, keys and vocals. Brian Head, drums and percussion. Gus Cesare, guitar and mandolin. Sean Wolstenhume, what the fuck? Guitar. Pelly Heelstorm, guitar. Billy Mochler, bass. Leah Randy, bass. And Luke Tierney, guitar. You might know him from this track.
Tonight, on a very special Clone High.
Way back in the 1980s, secret government employees.
Yes, this is the band behind most, if not the whole Clone High soundtrack. Surprisingly, these guys don't sound bad at all. In fact, I'd say that Master represents the usual track quality. Despite that, they never blew up, even though Radiohead was made in 1985 and Gorillaz in 1999, so you can't say that indie or alternative rock was not a thing. They don't even have a wiki page for crying out loud. But why is that? We'll discuss that subject in this video. So let's go over some of the tracks that they made. Little sad fact before we start, they made only 47 songs and 5 music videos from 2001 to present day. The first album they ever made was Humanistic in 2001, which features such songs as Sunny Day,
Hiding inside a crowd, my head is inside a cloud.
Fluorescene, and Blood.
And I can't bring myself to look.
The album consisted of 12 songs, really good by the way, really catchy tunes, melancholic and mostly relatable lyrics, and 3 of the 5 music videos they ever made were on this album. I think the show stealer for this album was Sunny Day. They really nailed this song. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. I personally recommend it, especially if you're in more of a sad mood. Judging by a comment I found in the comment section of Blood, this album was really well advertised, with commercials, some of it being featured in Clone High, 3 music videos, and some other tracks featured in National Lampoon's Van Wilder, some college comedy movie, and Never Get Out of the Boat, some drug rehab movie. Despite all of that, the album was never a hit, which is pretty ironic, as if it would have been released after the pandemic, it could have been one of the best and most relatable albums of the whole decade. Really good album in my opinion, sadly a piece of pure gold that never reached the spotlight. On to the next one, Armed to the Teeth. To be honest, not as good as Humanistic. Don't get me wrong, this album is fantastic with songs like Rabble, Tight Nose,
Up in smoke, this is a joke, isn't it?
Armed to the Teeth,
I am armed to the teeth, you can't hold me down. I've turned seething into a hobby.
which at the moment of writing this script, Goodbye Song is my favorite song out of all the tracks that this band made. But I guess Humanistic grew on me, being the album that introduced me to this band. This album has one of the 5 music videos they ever made, obviously for the lead single of the album, which is named after it, Armed to the Teeth. None of the songs on this album were featured in any form of media. A thing that is worth mentioning about this record is that it got a bonus track on iTunes named Lucky. Sadly, I can only find a cover on YouTube of this song and not the original. Even this sounds promising.
Little sacred things floating out to sea. I once knew a girl, she once knew me.
Up there I found a preview bit on Apple Music. Sounds good, very similar to the humanistic sound. Again, if you want to check out any of the songs from this record, they are in the description. Really good album. Next one. Humanistic Demos, released in 2010, this album features all the demos for all the tracks from Humanistic. Not much changed from demos to the official versions, mostly the instrumentals. Here's some for comparison. Mercy Kiss. Blood.
I see the happy family tree. It sways so easily. I see the happy family tree. It burns so easily.
Sunny Day. Suburban Muse. Fluorescene. Ruin your life.
No one needs us any day. Time to give it up. No one needs us any day.
If somehow you have Humanistic as a CD, you need to buy this one as well. It's a must-have. Sublime Currency. This one is a bit different from the rest. You see, being released in 2011, rock in general was starting to fade into obscurity and pop was taking over. So the album has more of a poppy vibe to it, with a few scars of hard rock. It also has the last music video they ever made for the lead single, Sublime Currency. Still, phenomenal album, with songs like Sublime Currency.
I can push the buttons, I can wrestle with the phantoms till I see that all the best things happen naturally.
9 Billion.
Day, slowly bring me back to
Marigolds.
calling this a win. Still here and floating in the wind.
Unrehearsed.
So I'm not wasted, I'm just delirious.
And Hype is the Enemy.
There's no use in crying over all that should have, would have, could have been. Find them better.
You can't really go wrong. It's one of the few times that I can actually listen to pop and not throw up because of how generic and bullshitty it is. Not much left to say, other than the fact that this is a new age of abandoned pause that we'll see more in the next and last album. Now, without further ado, let's get to the final record they made, Somnambulist. Well, this album is something else. Remember when I said Somnambulist is gonna be even more poppy? Well, let's just say it's a long way from here to anything that even resembles rock. Focus.
Are you thinking about the future? Find yourself in the eye of a storm.
Walking Disaster.
Walking disaster.
Arms Race. If Only. I see the math.
I feel the weight of all the hours. The clock runs in reverse for us.
This album is a complete twist from all the other ones. If we compare a song from Humanistic with one from Somnambulist, we can really see how much this band's sound has changed. And if it is a pop album, it doesn't mean it's a bad one. Not really my type, but when I'm sad I can listen to it without a problem. That's kind of it. They haven't released an album since 2013, but if you enjoy Abandoned Pools and you want more songs, don't worry. In 2021, Tommy Walter launched a Kickstarter for a new album of Abandoned Pools because Clone High was getting a reboot on HBO Max. The Kickstarter was a success and we are now waiting for a new album. Don't believe me? Here's a snippet to convince you. Wow, what a journey this video was. Just so you know, I will be doing more of these, next one being on Gorillaz since the new album's coming, more on that later. But in conclusion, Abandoned Pools, a gem that never reached the light. A really good and talented band that lived in the shadows of other behemoths of this industry. Truly, the merest sound of ignorance. Maybe one day it will reach the surface. One day, a sunny day. Also, the first episode of the Clone High reboot is about Abe getting cancelled and cancel culture in general. What the fuck is that shit about?